President Trump is ramping up his rhetoric about federal intervention in several Democrat-run cities as a result of crime. Yesterday on Truth Social, he called Chicago the murder capital of the world. But recently released FBI data shows the Windy City isn't even one of the top 10 major cities in the U.S. for violent crime. Many of the cities with the highest violent crime rates are in fact found in red states run by Republicans like Tennessee, Missouri, and Arkansas. Notably off that list, blue cities run by Democrats like New York and Los Angeles, where the president has repeatedly threatened to intervene. The reasoning behind that is largely because of the size of both cities and the relatively low violent crime rates per capita in comparison. Let's bring in CBS News Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane for more. And Scott, thanks for being with us to talk about all this. As we just mentioned, some of the states with the highest rates of violent crime are in fact red. So why isn't the president deploying more troops to patrol those streets? And are the leaders there asking for help?
You can see the politics have been intertwined with the policy here. If there's a public safety imperative that requires the National Guard to be on the streets of Chicago and remain in neighborhoods in Washington, D.C., the argument from the president's critics is, what about Jackson, Mississippi? What about New Orleans? What about Cleveland? Cities that are in the states that have deployed National Guard to Washington, D.C., but where there is an issue of crime. And some of the data shows there's an issue of crime that could be comparable per capita to cities like Chicago or Washington, D.C. That's the politics of it. The policy of it's quite different because the president has this unilateral power to deploy the National Guard in Washington, D.C. no matter what. He controls the federal district National Guard. He doesn't do so in Illinois or Louisiana or Ohio or California. And that court ruling yesterday, Nancy, in San Francisco from Judge Charles Breyer, that it was unlawful for the president to deploy the Guard in that way in Los Angeles could mean there's going to be legal troubles every time he tries that elsewhere. And the governor of Illinois has already said if the Guard comes to Illinois, the governor is going to court over it.
We've also heard that New Orleans is perhaps changing its stance on all of this as well.
It's really different in terms of the complexion of the politics. No matter what city you're in, there's not just one side on another side. It's unlike so many Trump controversies or 2025 politics controversies where you've got one group of people on this side of the line and everybody else here. There are many different constituencies here and many different points of view. We've seen that over the past month in Washington, D.C., where you don't have two sides to the issue. You have about 20. Some people like the federal agents there, making their streets safer no matter what badge they wear. Some people don't want federal intervention of any sort, saying it erodes local control. You have ardent Trump loyalists who are uncomfortable with this. You have Trump opponents politically who love the idea of having the National Guard in their city. So it's not so clean and so neat. And one other thing, Nancy, that's worth underscoring here, the more people we talk to about this, in some of these contingencies, everybody's winning politically. Mayor of D.C. gets a galvanized support from her base as she tries to push back. The president thinks he's on winning terrain talking about this issue of crime at all. His supporters think Republicans are faring well on this issue, but local leaders, potentially the governor of Illinois, the mayor of Chicago, the mayor of Los Angeles, get a jolt too. So right now it's hard to see who the political losers are as this debate plays out.
Yeah, as you said, Scott, maybe 20, 30 sides to all of this, and we appreciate you breaking all of them down for us. Thanks for joining us.